Hello readers! Today what we're going to work on is character traits, and we have worked a lot with character traits. I know that we did a lot with Flat Stanley in the beginning of the year, if you remember our pencil box and how we used to put stuff into the box, and that represented the things we hear, see, and do. And then we also looked at Beagle a while back, if you guys remember, and we looked at character traits for Beagle. And so just to remind you that this is a little table over here for character trait development. So just good character traits like determined, friendly, hardworking, humble, and then bad character traits like unfriendly, lazy, proud, selfish, like those kind of things are bad things. And by the way, proud isn't like, oh, I feel proud of you. Proud means that where you take too much pride in yourself, and it's kind of like you think too highly of yourself, just so you guys know, because I know somebody will ask. Just to remind you, a character trait describes a person. You can determine a character trait by looking at what they say, feel, and what they do. A lot of the times you can also look at pictures and books to figure out what their character traits are. So that's what we're going to do today. Part 1 of this video, if you haven't already watched it, was supposed to be the girl with colored stripes. If you have not watched part 1, please go and watch it and then come back to the video. So I've taken some screenshots, and for the first one, I have this picture, and this is really the first page of the book. So in this book, or in this first page, Camila is really like, she's trying to go to school, and she's trying to pick out what clothes to wear. And so I'm going to fill out this little sentence stem, these two sentence stems. So it says Camila's character trait in this scene is blank, and I don't have anything written yet. I believe this is her character trait because, and then explain why. So I'm going to fill these in. So in this moment, she's like, kind of like nervous. Now I have this chart over here just to help us, but none of these really help us figure out what's going on in this picture. But when I look at her, I think she looks nervous. So since that's a character trait, I'm going to write it in. So Camila's character trait in this scene is nervous. I believe this is her character trait because, and this is where I'm going to explain why I think that she's nervous based on the picture and the text. I believe that this is her character trait because she is scared of picking the wrong clothes for her first day of school. Also, in the picture, she looks nervous. And it's okay to use the pictures to help you. You can always use the pictures to help you. I always do if they have it there. Sometimes in chapter books, you're just going to have to stick with the text. But if they give you the picture, use it to help you. Let's do another one. In this picture, she went to school, she got dressed finally, and she went to school. And now they're doing the Pledge of Allegiance, and she is turning into a flag. And all the people around her, at least in the passage it says, they're looking at her like, oh my, my, my. She is turning into a flag. That is weird. And she is embarrassed. So I'm going to say that Camila's character trait in this scene is embarrassed. I spelled embarrassed wrong. Sorry, guys. I believe this is her character trait because all of her, I'm going to put in quotes, friends are laughing at her. She cannot help that she is changing colors. Okay? So that's how we do that. The next one I'm going to do is going to be the doctors. Now, when you're trying to figure out character traits, you don't just look for the character traits of the main characters, you have to look for all the characters in the book. So the doctor's character traits in this scene is something. So if you remember, they came and they brought a whole lab of people, and they were looking at her, and they could not figure out for the life of them what was wrong with Camila. So they looked kind of confused. And so I think in this character trait, the doctor's character trait in this scene is confused because they do not know what's going on with her. I believe this is their character traits because they do not know what is wrong with her. They cannot figure it out. Okay? Alright, now you are going to try. So here is another picture near at the end. This is after she's eaten the lima beans and after she's changed herself back into her normal color, and she's no longer changing colors throughout or sick, and she's not changing into anything. This was after the lima beans were given to her by that old woman. So I want you to think of what her character traits are, and I want you to think of it using Camila's character traits in this scene is, and then fill in the blank I believe this is her character trait because, and explain it. So pause your video, and I'm going to leave it on this screen for you. Alright, if you have not paused your video, you need to pause it and do it. There's no way you could do it in 2 seconds. I wish you could. That would be great, but you can't. Camilla's character trait in this scene, and I'm just going to give you the answer. Camilla's character trait in this scene is probably, I would think that she was happy, but I want to kind of find a stronger word for that. I don't really like the word happy, sad, mad. I don't feel like that is strong. So I want to think of some other things that she could be. She's happy. She's probably surprised that it worked. She's probably excited that this all worked and it turned out fine. So I'm going to just use the word excited, or yeah, let's just use excited. So she is excited. I believe this is her character trait because Camila, and I'm probably spelling it wrong, I don't remember how to spell it. Camila is so happy that she is no longer changing colors uncontrollably. Okay? Alright, if you guys have any questions, please reach out.